My name is Kathy Steffen for Access Hollywood, and today I am joined by two of the stars of Welcome to Plathville, Micah and Moriah. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Doing good.
Now, my first question, your background is actually perfect for it because I was going to ask if you guys were going to celebrate Christmas this year. So what can you tell me about this year's new traditions?
Yes, we are totally 100% celebrating Christmas this year. It's not something we grew up celebrating. So
we don't know how to do anything like Christmas shop or anything like that. I started yesterday Christmas shopping, and it's way too late to do that.
You're doing better than me.
Yeah, he hasn't even started.
No, that means that you're just like the rest of us, saving it all for the last minute. Yeah. That's very normal.
Well, I mean, if you look at it another way, we don't have to buy a whole lot of gifts for the rest of our family because they still don't celebrate it.
That's true.
So,
have you seen any new Christmas movies? Like, are there any new traditions that you're making and new Christmas things that you're learning about?
Oh, God. We don't have Christmas traditions yet, but they're starting this year. Yeah, I loved The Elf. I'd never seen that movie before. That's what it's called, right? I think.
I've started watching Christmas Chronicles. I really like that.
I watched it last night with him, and I think I was just sleepy. It was boring.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are going to get to experience Christmas this year, though, and it looks like you're already doing a good job of it with the decorations. So
thank you. It was actually a lot of work putting that tree up.
I believe it.
And if you go to my Instagram, you can see how I hauled the tree to my house.
Oh, I saw it. I saw that motorcycle.
That was so fun.
Yeah, I loved it. Well, I'm really glad you guys are going to get to celebrate, but I should ask, you mentioned, you're not going to be buying presents for the rest of your family. I know they don't celebrate. Can you give me an update on what the status is of the relationship with your parents and your other siblings?
Want to go first?
Sure. Right now I'm trying not to talk bad about anybody. I'm just really that's not helping me move forward at all. I know a lot of people just it just seems like they want to focus on the bad. Are your parents really this bad? And I'm like, every relationship is having to work through issues constantly. And there's tough times, but I'm trying not to focus on that because if I do, it's just going to pull me backwards. So, we're
in the process.
Yeah, we're in the process. We're at least trying, and it's not perfect and it gets really hard, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think there's something to be said for at least the effort.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if really all you do is just blame yourself and then blame your parents for the way you were raised and things you disliked, that's not going to help. That's not going to hurt anyone other than yourself.
Yeah.
That's only holding you back.
Yeah. I mean, I see it as we can't change the past, and I see at least an effort on their part, and I don't at all want to discourage that. So even if they're not exactly how I want them, I know I'm not exactly how they want me either. So there's got to just be a compromise there.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned that it can be hard hearing these criticisms that people have about your family without actually knowing them. How have you guys balanced, you guys both have a great social media following on Instagram. How have you balanced hearing those criticisms at the same time that you get that support from other people online?
I think my way of doing it is either I read them and just don't take anything seriously because they don't know us, or I don't read them, so I don't know what people are saying.
Honestly, yeah. The key is just not caring because nobody knows me like I know me. Nobody knows my family like I know my family. And people get to see the inside scoop on reality television, the show that we're on. People get to see, that is very, very accurate to our lives, especially what it used to be. But
it's still being viewed by someone else, not.
Yeah, it's being viewed by somebody that still hasn't lived the life, So I guess all that to say, I still get to make my choices, even if I took a few months away from my parents. I know that I'm capable of doing that. So if fixing the relationship doesn't work out, what do I have to lose? I know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think it also has to be hard that, yes, what you're showing on the show is accurate for your life, but it's not your whole life. It's,
exactly.
I mean, you can only show so much. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I get it. It has to be hard. But one thing that I did see you post on social media that I have to ask you about is your boyfriend, Max.
Yes.
How are things going? What can you tell me about how things are with you guys?
God, I wish you were here.
She would talk for hours.
Okay, yeah.
No, but first off, I would like to say, like, Moriah is my closest sister, and I personally think she found, like, such a good guy.
The best one out there.
This dude is awesome.
Of course,
like,
he's not going to admit that, but...
He's the second best.
Okay, whatever. But no,
but
Max and I constantly learning and growing together, and I seriously wouldn't trade it for anyone or anything in the whole world. Like, he's the best.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I'm just really lucky to have found him because he's a really, really good person.
I'm glad to hear that you're really happy with him. And I was really happy to see that scene a couple episodes ago when you actually brought him to meet your family. And it seemed like that meant a lot to your parents as well, that you were showing that.
It did. It did. Since then, I would say that was one of the turning points, is when, like, I brought Max into the spectrum, and then, like, he got to see it from a different view. And he wasn't at all going to, like, side with my parents, if there is sides, like, if that's what you want to call it. But at the same time, like, he was going to support me with how I was feeling, but he was also going to use a little bit of logic, like, okay, but can't just be angry over everything. Or so he brought a little different factor in for me to step back and be like, okay, what's actually going on here? He's just a super, super, like, intelligent person, like, emotionally intelligent. He's helped me so much just with coming out of, you know, how I was raised. And I just consider myself so lucky.
I'm really glad. I can tell how happy you are, just like the way you're, like, lighting up when you talk. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Now, Micah, I know that you just went on a trip of your own to Disney World. Can you tell me how things went and who you were there with?
I don't know how much detail I want to go into because, I don't know, let's just say things are a little different now. But I did just make my first trip to Disney, and it was awesome. And I'll just say I went with some friends.
Okay, keeping it mysterious. I vibe with it.
Suspenseful, you know?
Yeah. Well, I want to thank both of you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm excited for you to experience your first Christmas this week, and I wish you.
We are too.